What I care about a lot is finding out how to live well both in your career and out of your career, because all of it makes up your daily life. And for me, my daily career happens to be the entertainment industry. And so while I love it and I want to nurture it, I want to figure out how to support myself in the real life stuff so that I can be better in my career. And I want to find out how to support myself in the career stuff so that I can be better in my daily life. We're going to talk about hygiene for actors. So whether you're looking to glow up, whether you're just curious, or whether you're wondering how do people do movies where they're in close quarters all the time and they don't just fall in love? Well, I'll tell you, I don't know, because sometimes they do fall in love, sometimes they don't fall in love. But what I can tell you that they do is they brush their teeth. So let's get started. Most of the products that I talk about today none of this is sponsored or affiliated yet, but most of the products I talk about will be in US dollars before tax. And if there happens to be a product that is not available in other countries like Australia or India, I will make a note of it. And I'm so sorry, because I know we have a lot of international viewers. So, hey, I'm gonna go little head, shoulders, knees, and toes action. With hair, if any of this information that works specifically for my hair type does not suit you or you're not interested, please feel free to move along to the next part. No problem. It's important that you clean your hair as is appropriate to your hair type, your hair texture, and your preferences as you know is healthy. My specific hair type, I have fine but wavy hair and a lot of it, and it's called Appalachian curls. So Appalachia has a lot of Scots-Irish heritage. I'm of Swedish descent, and so growing up in the mountains, a lot of us have this kind of hairstyle. And so for me particularly, this is something that I tend to wash every day or every other day. When you're in close proximity with others a lot. Also, I just ate like a bunch of Cheetos. So if there's anything in my teeth, you let me know, okay? It's a little ironic that this is a hygiene video, but whatever. You're in close proximity with others, particularly if you're an actor. Let's say you're not only in a scene with someone where you're very close, but you're also in hair and makeup and costume fittings. You really want to be respectful to the people who are working with you and the different parts of your body. It's respectful to show up clean and neat as much as possible. In terms of hair care, so I'm also a model in addition to being an actor, and it's very important to me to keep my hair healthy. Now I'm currently growing it out, which is very exciting. I'm using bear with me on this pronunciation, minoxidil USP 5%. Another name for it is Rogaine, or at your local retailers, you can sometimes find it under men's or women's hair growth treatment. The reason I'm using 5% is because that's the one that's made for men. The one that's made for women is usually 2%. On men's boxes, it'll say not for use by women. But you know what? We're fighting the pink tax here on this channel and the patriarchy a little bit. According to the NIH National Library of Medicine, gender bias in topical minoxidil labeling and pricing. And it says that 5% is safe and effective for use by women and is often recommended by most dermatologists. So why would you pay more for 2%? Anyway, whatever. I bought a 3-month supply of that, and so I've been using it at my whim about once or twice a day. And it seems to be, I'm noticing it's going well. In addition to growing my hair out, I also look for shampoos and conditioners that are free of sulfate, phthalates, and parabens. And the reason I'm doing that is because these are ingredients that are very damaging to your hair. And I tend to fluctuate between what types and brands of shampoos I like to use based on the season, based on the scent, based on my mood. And I found that steering clear of those ingredients specifically has helped me, just as a rule of thumb, to find products that work best for me. I'll also oil my hair from time to time, so it can be helpful to use a scalp oil and or a hair oil. I like to use jojoba oil on my ends and the mid shaft of my hair, and I like to use what's called Carol's Daughter Goddess Strength 7 oil blend on my scalp. And whenever I apply these products, I won't brush my hair. I'll comb through with my fingers a bit, but I'm very careful not to induce breakage. And whenever I apply it to my scalp, you don't rub it in or rake it in. You just like, you know, get it? Like you put the pads of your fingers on your scalp and you just move your scalp around because that stimulates circulation, and that's really what you're going for, is you're trying to get it to absorb the nutrients. And I'll do that whenever I'm at home for a long time, or if I only have like a few tasks to go do in a day. Actually, I have a funny story about this. So whenever I moved to the state of New York, I needed to go update my driver's license, of course. And for some reason, I didn't think that they were gonna take my picture. So I had happened to oil my hair this day and just put on a baseball cap and sweatshirt. And as much as I like the way I look all the time, like I'm fine with the way I look, I didn't want my DMV, my driver's license picture, to be that, because turns out they did need to take my picture. And so very nice worker there, she and I were just like, oh no, and we did our best. But learn from me, learn from my mistakes. And if you're oiling your hair, maybe consider if you have to get your picture taken within the next few hours for a very important government document. Okay, you live and you learn. I try to stay away from super hot products, and if I use a straightener, which is very rare these days, I also try to keep it on the lower end. I keep a curling iron on the lower end. I'm just trying to do what I can to preserve integrity of my hair, because also whenever you're in productions, there are different demands on your hair. And so I try to be more gentle with it in my daily life, so that if there are extreme circumstances, like for example, I played Sally Bowles one time and I had a pixie cut and it required gelling my hair down every night. And so I had a blast. I loved gelling my hair down. It felt really cool. I felt like Liza Minnelli, but it's not necessarily the healthiest on your hair long term. And whenever it comes to kind of like my hair out of my face. So even when I had a pixie cut, I would do this all the time, is I wear a lot of cloth headscarves, and I don't know, I feel like I've loved that way more than pulling my hair back. Whenever I do pull my hair back now, I tend to use scrunchies with this like silky over layer, so that way whenever it's against my hair, it's not just like pulling. Also, my bad, my fingernails, I was cooking yesterday with a lot of turmeric, and so they're a little yellow. Just signs I'm eating good. Face. I love skincare, and over the last several years I've kind of narrowed it down, and I'm very basic. Like, I'm a La Roche-Posay girl. I use their gentle foaming cleansing oil, not like their regular cleanser. I have combination skin, which means it's part oily, part dry. So I found that this foaming oil cleanser works really well for my skin. I also use their Daily Lipikar moisturizing lotion on my face, not the like triple strength one. The bottles look exactly the same, so I can't tell you how many times I've bought the wrong one by mistake, but regular Lipikar lotion is what I use on my face, and then a sunscreen. And those are really like the big three that I try to just stick to. When it comes to sunscreen, I tend to use Sunbum facial, like the SPF, and I try to use SPF 50 or higher if at all possible. I was able to find on sale at Ulta a while ago SPF 70 for your face, and I was like, oh, chef's kiss, because my Swedish skin just wasn't built to be friends with the sun, much as I wish that it would be. And so the stronger the sunscreen, the more secure I feel. But if you're looking for a facial sunscreen that does not leave a white cast, which Sunbum sometimes can, then I recommend brands like Fenty. Supergoop is also a great one. They have very like glowy sunscreens though. Like, I had the glow stick for a long time. Then there's also Black Girl sunscreen, which is made for melanated skin. TJ Maxx and Marshalls lately, again, not sponsored, not affiliated, they have had amazing skincare deals lately. I will also like to use a vitamin C wash, not a serum. I don't know why, I just haven't tried the serum yet. But I really like La Roche-Posay's vitamin C 2 to 3 times a week. And I also have graduated to an age where I get to use a retinol serum. CeraVe Skin Renewing Retinol Serum. That's what it's called. Keep the wrinkles at bay. I've also tried the Ordinary brand's multi-peptide serum for your lashes and your brows. And just to be honest with you, unfortunately, I haven't noticed a blessed thing. Maybe I'm not using it right, and maybe I haven't used it long enough yet, but I'll keep you posted. Something I forgot to say on hair. I also highlighted my hair for the first time, and I bleached it a little bit. And so something that I noticed was that my hair got very, very stringy after I did that. And so I like to use a deep conditioning moisture mask from the Ion brand. It can be found at Sally's Beauty Supply. And I know that that's mostly with American retailers. I don't think it's available in Australia or India. You may have to order it or find it on eBay. Anyway, long story short, using that a few times has really helped to kind of bring a little bit of moisture and revitalize my hair. When it comes to your mouth, your girl has sensitive teeth, and so I really like Sensodyne so far. I tend to use a toothbrush with soft bristles or extra soft bristles. The regular floss. A big one is I use a tongue scraper, and you can get these just about anywhere, but I like to use a metal tongue scraper. You need to brush your tongue. And not just like with the back of your toothbrush or with your toothbrush, like with a tongue scraper. Talk to other actors as well. It seems that having a tongue scraper has been a game changer for many of us. Mouthwash. I really like to use the TheraBreath brand, specifically the whitening one, mostly because I followed a lot of beauty influencers who were going through glow ups, and I wanted to do that too, and they all used TheraBreath whitening, and gotta say, love it. Having a great time. In the winter, everything is so dry and my lips get so dry. How many lip balms dry out your lips? Huh? And so I found one that I like, and it's Palmer's brand. It's like a cocoa butter chapstick in this comically large tube. Really like it, and I carry it with me everywhere I go, and it's kept my lips very soft if my lips are very chapped. A brand called Jack Black, and they have these very moisturizing lip masks, and I really like those. It's made for men, but again, pink tax. We use what works. And then when it comes to breath, because again, you're in close quarters, whether you're working on a scene or whether you're in voice lessons, whether you're in dance lessons, whether you're in any kind of close proximity to other people, which also is like most jobs. I mean, sales, marketing, teaching, medicine. And I found that peppermint Altoids are my favorite. I eat a little too many of them sometimes. I can't control myself with them. They're very good. Okay, now when it comes to your body, there are a few phases, let's say. Exfoliate, to wash, and to moisturize. Done. Whatever that means to you, awesome sauce. Here it comes to exfoliating. I try to not do this every single day, but I really like the Dr. Teal's exfoliators. They have like lavender and eucalyptus, and I think like a coconut oil one. Like, they're very calming scents. For body washes, again, it kind of depends on my mood and the season and whatever scents I like at the store at that time. TJ Maxx can be a really great place for finding different body washes that you might like. The point is, soap and water, done. Get all of your nooks and crannies, get behind your ears, get between your toes, just squeaky clean. If you're someone who prefers to remove body hair, I really recommend using a men's razor with 5 blades on it, because women's razors, again, pink tax, for crying out loud. It's more expensive and less effective. Maybe I should make a video about my rage on the pink tax. Like the Gillette ones, they work way better. Done. When it comes to moisturizing after you are clean. Okay, so sometimes, hear me out. It depends what project you're working on. If you're working on a project, as to how much oil and or fragrance is most advantageous for you. And what I mean by that is, if you're going to a fitting, it's helpful to stay away from long-lasting body oils and strong fragrances, because you're trying on different garments and you don't want to get anything on those garments. So if you're at a fitting, you're in very close proximity to amazing wardrobe folks and dressers and costume designers, and strong fragrances can sometimes be, people can be allergic, or it could trigger headaches. You get it. But so many times in life where you aren't also required to be in close proximity to folks, and I encourage you to do whatever the hell you want. I really love like Ariana Grande's body oils. I go for cocoa butter lotions. Those are my favorite. I really like Gold Bond. Again, I really like Palmer's. I like Palmer's body oil. Like fragrances so much. I collect them all the time. What I've found though is that the gentlest fragrances in my life so far are Glossier You and Pear Incorporated by Juliet Has a Gun. Those tend to be the lightest fragrances where it boosts your mood. I'll feel nice, I'll feel put together, and to my knowledge, it hasn't bothered anyone. Whereas if I'm wearing another fragrance that I really love, like I love Penhaligon's. I've only ever read it. London brand of perfumes. Oh, I love them so much, and they're very strong, which is nice, but it's not for every occasion, the ones that I've loved. So if you're curious, I really love Changing Constants. That's my favorite one there. I could go on and on. They have such good stuff. Anyway, I really encourage you to wear deodorant and antiperspirant if you're working in the entertainment industry. Old Spice has carried my career in so many ways. My favorite is I don't even know the name of it, but it smells kind of like vanilla. But they have lots of different scents. I've even done stand-up comedy about it before because their names can be so, I love you Old Spice, but so ridiculous and so funny, and I think it's on purpose. I have noticed that men's deodorants also get the job done way better than women's deodorants. The general rule of thumb is keeping your nails tidy how you want. What I will use though is Sally Hansen's vitamin E nail and cuticle oil. So a lot of times in auditions, they'll ask you to show your hands, and so you'll just kind of go this. And I found that whenever I have the cuticle oil on, which I don't right now, I found that whenever I have the cuticle oil on, that it looks much nicer. And here we go. If that did nothing for you, I understand, but I like it, and that's what matters to me. And then if you have piercings, which I do, I have my little conch piercing, which I love. It can be very helpful, and not can be very helpful, you should be cleaning it. And you clean it with something called wound wash. And I have like a spray kind, so I'll spray it on a Q-tip, and I'll make sure that both sides are nice and clean and tidy and dry. I'll clean out my ears with Q-tips. I hear that sometimes you're not supposed to do that, but I also want to keep my ears clean, so If you happen to have a nose piercing and you're in the entertainment industry, let's say you're doing like a historical theater piece to where it's not a septum piercing where you can flip it up, maybe it's on the side. They make clear piercings that you can put in to preserve the piercing hole itself so that it doesn't close up while you're in performance, and you're able to like, it's not visible to the audience. I hope that this was helpful to you. If there's anything that I've missed or there's anything that has been super useful for you, please let me know. I'd be happy to hear. I hope you have a great week. Thanks for your time. Bye.